Hi and welcome to Take Time to Create. This is where we take time out of our everyday lives to create new and wonderful things. Today we're going to try out a kit, and I'm just curious to see how these kits work and if I would recommend them or not. I did purchase these with my own money, and let's get started. So I have two of these book necklace kits, and they are Craftastic brand, and I'm pretty excited to try them out. One looks like little paper booklets, and then this one is faux leather, and so then we just make these little books. So yeah, let's get started. Let's start with this one. It looks a little easier, so let's try that out before I try the other one. All right, once you get in the box, let's see what you get for this one. All right, cool. So you have little pages. Looks like the pages are pre-punched, which, oh, I love that. That makes life a little easier. You have some cording and instructions, my favorite part. We will see what the instructions say. All right, so what you'll need to make this is you need scissors, ruler, markers, whatever you want to do. So it looks like you have to color it first before you make it into a little book. So it looks like you make two books, and so I'm just going to sort out the pieces so that I know what is what. That's just trash. So the way they had it packaged in that little plastic baggie, it looks like some of them got bent. I don't think it's that big of a deal. Just if that's a big deal to you, just throw those away. Otherwise, just stick them in your pile and you're good to go. So here is what looks like my cover, I think. Should be 4 of those. Okay, good. Okay, it looks like we have a plastic needle, and we have jump rings and lots of little adhesive. I'm sure you can use any adhesive if you lose any of it. I'm sure you could, if you lose any of these and you need to recreate them, just trace it out and then punch it if you need to. But it looks like everything is here, which is great. So let's see here. So I need a decorate 2 front and 2 back. I'm just going to make one right now, so I'm going to save the other one. Okay, so I have 2 pieces, and instead of coloring with markers, I'm just going to watercolor them. You can do whatever you want. It is yours. So I'm going to just take some paint from the Woodland set from Prima Marketing, and I'm going to use Redwood and Cavern because I'm going to make it a brown, old world looking book. This is not watercolor paper. I totally get that, but that's all right. I want to play around with the watercolors. It looks like in the picture, in the instructions, it looks like that you want to go a little bit beyond the first row of holes, so I'm going to do that. I'm sure you could decorate this afterwards, but I think it's a lot easier before you assemble it. All right, I'm going to dry this. Once it's markers, crayons, leaving it blank, a white book. That is really cute as well. Whatever you want to do, decorate it. All right, second step is to cut this square. Remember how I said this was trash and I just threw it away? Well, it's not trash. Don't throw it away. You need to cut this into 4 1-inch squares. Okay, so it really helps if you read the directions. So that big square that you cut into the 1-inch squares, if you read the directions, it says to decorate one of them, one side of each. So I did that. Just same watercolor technique. That's just what I'm doing. So now it says place the little cardboard. So now we take the cardboard, we stick a little adhesive, then we place the cardboard adhesive on the back of one of the decorated covers, matching the holes, press firmly. I have to say, reading directions, it's not my forte, but I'm pressing through. Here we go. All right, so yay, got that. So now we take adhesive, the long adhesive strips, and we stick them all around. All right, so you stick the adhesive strips all the way around like this, and don't cover the holes, because what you're gonna do is you're gonna fold this over, and you want to be able to stitch it together, so don't fold over the holes. And this will tell me if I took my watercolor far enough. If not, that's okay. I can always add more watercolor. Or if you have markers or paint or glitter or whatever you want, you can always touch up as you go. Okay, so now we're going to, you pull it tight. There we go, just like that. And then top and bottom. I have a bone folder. Doesn't say to do this, but I'm just going to really crease my sides. Oh man, I really need to fix that. Yay, good job me. Little watercolor and we're good to go. So if you do this at home, I would take that coloring. Let me grab a blank one. Oop, I got my watercolory fingers all over. If you do this at home, I would just take my drawing all the way to the edges, just really extend it out. That way you don't have to touch up at the end, just like me. I'm just going to spread it out on this one just to be prepared. Because that's just the way it goes. So you stick adhesive on the inside of this cover, and I really need to read instructions better. I don't think I cut the right thing. So I have this, but what you want to do is make a cover for the inside, but don't cover up the holes. You'll need those. So I'm going to trim what I have, and I'm gonna make it work. You know, my mother watches these videos, and whenever I don't follow directions, she's like, Linda, I taught you how to follow directions. I know, she taught me well. But sometimes it's more fun just to jump into what you're doing. Those directions are slowing you down. That's okay. I have it trimmed. It's fine. There we go. So we're gonna stick that on the inside. And now I have a little book cover. Oh, that's so cute. Look at that. All right, so I have a little book cover just like that. Look at that. So let me do this to the other one, and then we will assemble our little book. Be right back. All right, so I have two of these already done, and they look so cute. These are just so tiny and cute. I love them. And I have the insides done. So next on the instructions is to take 25 of the inside sheets, and I'm going to be honest, it's a little thick for what I want to do with this. I'm not making a necklace. I'm actually going to put this in an art journal page. So I'm actually going to reduce the number by about half. I'm going to take quite a bit out just because I don't want it that thick in my art journal page because it's a book. My journal book is already pretty thick. I've got a lot of 3D stuff going on. So I'm just going to go ahead and reduce the number like this. All right, so next we're going to stitch it up. And honestly, I'm not going to go over the instructions on how to stitch it up because they have beautiful instructions right here, step by step, 1, 2, 3, 4, ready to go all the way through the instructions. Full color, I love this, very, very good. So I'm just going to stitch it up. All right, I am all stitched up. The instructions were really great. And look at that, you can even open it. How cute is this book? Oh, this is so much fun. All right, so that is the first book all the way done. Like I said, I'm not making it into a necklace, but if you wanted to, the instructions do tell you what to do to go ahead and make it into a necklace. And this picture on here is pretty life size. It's a tiny bit tinier than the actual book, but really, really cute. All right, one down, one to go. All right, so we're going to try this one next, and this one is the faux leather ones, and we're going to not make them into necklaces once again, but that's okay. If you want to make them into a necklace, go ahead, but I will use them for art journal pages. And if I just change my mind, I might go ahead and do a necklace. Oh, it's starting to thunder out there. I wonder if you guys can hear it on the film. Well, if you hear the noise of the thunder, I'm sorry if it's distracting. But it's just a spring shower we're getting here. Okay. So I've learned my lesson, don't throw away things if you think it's trash. All right, so we've got a pile of goodies here and instructions. And I think these are two different instruction sets for the books. So I think I'm just going to start with the first one. So first thing you do is you take all this craft paper and you fold it in half. So I'll go ahead and do that. So the next step is they give you a little template right here, and we're lining up the paper like this. And then what we're going to do is make little dots, because the next step will be to stitch the book, stitch these pages into the book. So you're supposed to put the leather, and this is faux leather. So what we're going to do is kind of put it all together. What I'm noticing is that this paper is a little long for what we're going to need to do, so I think trimming is going to need to happen. But also, to help keep things in place, I use binder clips. And I only have a giant one, but that's okay. Binder clips won't mar the leather, but it'll also help keep things in place. So what we're going to do is we're going to start in the middle and go ahead and punch through. Using an awl might be easier to get through everything, but this kit did not come with an awl, so I'm just going to do what the kit has, punch it through. And all right, now I will speed it up when I stitch it, and I think I need to tie a knot. I am using this needle as an awl just to help kind of push through, so I keep an evenly spaced stitching. Be very, very, very careful with this. You can hurt yourself. Be very, very careful. This kit says it's for, let's see your ages. The other one was 8 and up. This one, I don't see an age on here. So if you do use this with kiddos, be very careful, or use the stitching for adults, or punch the holes first and then let the kids stitch it up. So just be very careful, because you don't want to stab yourself, but you want to make sure that your spacing is even. All right, so now I'm going to speed it up, and now I will show you how I stitch up the book. All right, so now I'm tying the final knot in the center. I did not stitch over the top in the directions they had you stitch around. I didn't for a couple reasons. One, I'm not too worried if it's going to, kind of shift around, because I'm not wearing it. I'm putting it in an art journal. Two, I really like the look of it just staying still like that. I like the way it looks without it being wrapped. So that's why I went with that. But if you want to wrap it, you are more than welcome. It is your book. Do whatever you want. So next step is we have this little faux leather piece. And what we're going to do, it looks like, we are going to do a blanket stitch around this little guy. So go ahead and do a blanket stitch around the outside of this little clasp. All right, so I finished stitching around. Sorry, my video cut out, so I wasn't able to show you my blanket stitch. So it's uneven and everything and not very good, but that's okay. It adds to that handmade look. The old tooled leather kind of look. That's what we're going for, right? So, yeah, that's what we're going for. All right, so now what it says to do is to cut up your adhesive strips, and then we're going to adhere them, and we're going to adhere this little guy to the back of the book, and just decide which is the back and which is the front. And I did trim my pages. I just thought that, I don't know if that's another page later, but I just decided to trim it, and I think I want this to be my back. Doesn't really matter. We're going to adhere a little guy here to the hook and loop tape. So stick it on the edge of one of your of the little clasp there that you made, and then the other side, and I just keep it all together when I'm adhering things, that way you know it's all lined up. And we will open it up, make sure everything is lined up, and there we go. All right, now that I'm done with these 2 little books, my final thoughts are that these are really great kits. They have everything you need, and I think they turned out so cute in the end. They'll make great necklaces. Also, they'll be perfect for my journal page. So yes, I do absolutely recommend them. They're really great. However, you might need to add your own adhesive if you don't have enough. Read the instructions before you jump in, so don't do exactly what I did. There might be some advanced skills like a blanket stitch. The instructions are in the book, but they may not be as thorough as what you need. But there are YouTube channels and YouTube videos out there all over that will help you do the blanket stitch. So if you need to do that, go ahead and Google those. Otherwise, they're really cute. Are they acceptable for kiddos? This one I definitely think a kid could do, you know, probably 8, 10, 12 and older, of course. But if you need to help, I would do it with supervision, just so you're there, just in case you need to help out. This one definitely needs an adult to help out, especially with the stitching, but it's not something that's impossible, so you can definitely do that. They're really great, you know, be adaptable. Like the pages were a little too long on this one. That's okay, you just trim it. So just be adaptable when you're making it, because it is a craft, and sometimes crafts aren't exactly perfect, but I do love how they turned out. They are so super cute, and what a great little project. So yeah, this was definitely lots of fun. Thank you so much for watching this video. Please give it a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel. You can also find me on Instagram, Facebook, and on my blog. Thanks again for watching, and I will see you guys next time.